Save up to $50 at crimsontrace.com. Laser sighting systems from Crimson Trace will make you a more accurate and confident shooter. No personal protection firearm is fully equipped without a laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. Visit crimsontrace.com November 29th through December 25th and save up to $50 on the one tool no personal protection firearm should be without: a Crimson Trace laser sight. Save up to $50 now through Christmas Day at crimsontrace.com.
Today on Gun Talk. You want to sell a gun or even a whole collection? Here's how to do it. We give away a hot new rifle package. You could win it. And the perfect holiday gift may be useful accessories for your AR. Call 866-TALK-GUN to join Tom on the air. Lock and load.
All righty. It's Gun Talk time. Hey, I'm Tom Gresham, and we're going to be talking about guns. Well, guns and other things, because we're not exactly limited to talking about guns on Gun Talk. I know it sounds like it might be, but we don't. We talk about all sorts of things. We talk about ammo and accessories and scopes and optics and slings and reloading, and heck, we can talk about football. All right. Pretty good Saturday for some of us. For some others, not so much. Okay, but enough of that, as we say. We're talking about guns, and essentially it's a great time for several reasons to be thinking about new guns, maybe even buying old guns. Some of us kind of are into the old guns. But honestly, for the last, 10, 12 months, it's been difficult to find the gun you wanted. Certainly hard to find ammo, but even that's better. But the guns are back. There was a time, say 6 months ago, where forget about it. It wasn't happening. You weren't going to find it. The back orders were huge. It was just difficult. That's not true anymore. We can find what we're looking for. And during the holiday seasons, a lot of us are saying, I couldn't find anything. There was a couple of things I was looking for. I just couldn't find them. Now you can. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I'd love to get your thoughts on what gun would you like to get this year? Maybe a Christmas gun, Hanukkah gun. I don't care. Pick a holiday. Buy a gun for a holiday. It doesn't matter. As long as you know how to use it, you can store it safely, you use it safely. I would offer that not only is it a good idea from a safety standpoint to get training, it's just a lot of fun to learn how to use your firearms better, to become more competent, if you will. Oh, excuse me, I had to hit the cough button there. So as we talk about what's new, why don't we talk about maybe you could get yourself a brand new gun for free? We're going to bring in a friend of ours now to help us out with exactly that. Tom Taylor's with Mossberg, the great firearms company. Hey, Tom, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Tom. How are you?
I am wonderful. I guess, first of all, let me back up. You heard me talking about 6 months ago, it was kind of like walking through the desert trying to find guns in stores. That's changed, right?
Yeah, it's getting a little better. I mean, at this point, we're still in a backlog situation on a lot of our products, but it's really catch up at this point. I mean, I think it's just that, when the wheel starts turning so fast, everybody's got inventory and that kind of thing, but it still just takes a while to get completely caught up. So, I mean, ARs are getting more plentiful, handguns, but I mean, defensive shotguns are still a little tougher. And actually, of all things, hunting guns right now we're struggling as much to keep up with hunting guns.
Well, that's interesting.
Just because everything gets swung over to black guns so hard.
That's interesting. Now, is that a factor of more demand for hunting guns, or you just switched production over to the black guns because that's where the demand was?
I think it's a little of both. I think that, we were going really hard on black guns to fill the demand, but I think, all the people, you hear a lot of people talk, a lot of store owners talk, and they say that, people who bought, their first gun, a couple of years ago when really the surge started, or maybe even a few years ago as more and more people started buying in for self-defense guns, they started shooting. They realized how much fun it was, as you talked about a few minutes ago, and now they're looking for the next thing they want to do. And so there's definitely an increased demand on hunting guns right now.
Well, and you and I have talked about this a number of times. The thing that drives new sales or sales of guns is having something new, especially if you have something new and different, not just a different coat of paint on it. And Mossberg, I would say, I don't pick a number out of the air. 5 years, over the last 5 years, you guys have just gone gangbusters at cranking out new things. I mean, the defensive shotguns you have, of course, have always been great, but you've got new things there. But we want to talk for a second about the MVP series, and we're actually going to give away one, right?
Yes, we are. The MVP series really has just it's so far exceeded our expectations. You know, we looked at it when we first started talking about, you know, hey, no one's been able to really solve the whole mystery of being able to put an AR-style magazine on a bolt-action rifle, at least on a non-customized, heavily customized gun. And you know, with the MVP, we were able to do it first in the 223, and now we've actually just within the last couple of weeks started shipping our 308 or our 7.62 version of that. So it's just really, it's probably tenfold in terms of sales just on the 223 what we expected, and now people are telling us the 308 will probably sell three or four more times better than the 223 model.
So what we're talking about is a bolt-action rifle with a detachable magazine, but you can use your AR-15 magazines in it for your 223, and then now for the 308, obviously now which magazines work in the MVP for 308?
Well, you're a great straight man, Tom, because the answer is both DPMS style and M1A style magazines fit, and that's really was the biggest challenge is making sure that we made both of those systems work in the MVP, and I'm proud to say they do. We finally got them both working, and we introduced a little later than we wanted, but that was the big holdup, was making sure that both magazines worked well.
Because unlike ARs, there's only one style there. In 308s, there are two styles of magazines. I really honestly did not know that you had set that up for both of them. That's just way cool. That way, no matter which type of magazine you can get your hands on, it'll work.
Yeah, that really was the challenge. Is we, 6 months ago we thought we had it and we weren't quite happy with the performance, so we held up the introduction to make sure that both systems, the M1A and the DPMS style, both worked in the 308. So yeah, it's been just a project that so far exceeded our expectations, and obviously we're really pleased with it.
Okay, I'm on your website, mossberg.com. I'm looking at the MVP series. You got adjustable trigger. You got the medium bull barrel. It's kind of you call it a patrol rifle, but describe this bolt, because if you've not felt it, it's kind of hard for people to understand what you've done with the bolt system there. It's pretty slick. Yeah,
I mean, the issue I think people were coming up against when they were trying to feed, out of a 223 style magazine or an AR style magazine in 223 is to be able to go down into the magazine, scoop the bullet out of the magazine and get it up into battery. The bolt face was too broad and it was hitting the feeding ramp. So what we did is we developed what we called a drop push bolt, which has, for lack of a better term, a little trap door that comes out of the bottom of the bolt face, scoops the magazine or the bullet out of the magazine, and as it hits the feeding ramp, it disappears or folds up into the bolt, so it feeds cleanly into battery. And little different system on the 308. We were able to make that happen with two little teeth that come down off the bolt, but both systems work very effectively, and it just solved something, and we patented it, and it solves an issue that people have been trying to figure out for some time. And when you look at it, you're like, it's kind of like a V8 moment. It looks pretty simple, but nobody had been able to get that to work properly until our engineers solved it.
That's some neat design, and obviously a lot of engineering goes into it. So let's give away one of them. We're going to do that on our website, the guntalk.com/win. It's going to be our December giveaway, and it's a full package.
Yeah, we're going to give away one of the patrol rifles. Obviously, the MVP comes in long-range bench varmint versions. It comes in a short barrel Predator version. It actually our flex stock system, but it comes in one of those, a little takedown rifle. But the one we're giving away is our patrol rifle, which is probably the HCOC, the high coefficient of cool, is very, very good on that one, and comes with a 3-9 little tactical scope, and has a neoprene cheek razor kit, so you can get the stock just where you want it on the high scope, and A2 flash suppressor on the end, fixed sights on the barrel. So any way you want to go with it, scope, open sights, adjustment on the stock, it's a really neat little package we're going to give away on that.
Okay, so it's a rifle, one mag, scope, rings, ready to go. Of course, it's already got the Picatinny rail on it, right?
Yep, Picatinny rail comes on it, scope, rings, neoprene cheek razor kit, the whole 9 yards comes with the package we're giving away.
Okay, and we'll be giving that away at the end of the month. If you want to enter, go to guntalk.com/win, WIN, and the folks from Mossberg will be taking care of that. So, I got a question for you. Tell you what, we got to bring this in. I got a caller who's got a great question for you. Hold on a second here. Line 3, let's bring Russ in from Kansas. Russ, this is a great question. I love this.
Howdy. Hey, it was a pleasure meeting you at GRPC this year. And my question is, the 300 Blackout or 300 Whisper, whatever you want to call it, why are manufacturers such as Mossberg and such not pushing this as an ideal entry youth rifle?
I think that's an interesting idea.
Kids are good for 100, 200-yard shot, and that's the optimal range for the 300 Blackout. Very low noise, very low recoil.
Okay, Russ. Tom, that's I had not thought of that. The 300 Blackout for a youth gun.
We have a 300 Blackout in the patrol rifle, and it's just now coming out. But we have not really thought of it or marketed it as a youth rifle. I mean, it's obviously a very popular round, for moderate distance shooters. I'll say tactical guys are really liking the Blackout as well as the Whisper, and we hadn't thought of it that way. We introduced one in it, but not really marketing it as a youth gun. But that's a good point. It would be a really terrific youth round. Okay, let's design a gun right now, because you also have on the MVP series, you have the Flex system available. Yeah, actually, it would be perfect because you have the front end of the gun from basically the throat of the stock forward, and you have it in a 18.5-inch barrel. It's a little compact gun, but you can put a 6-position stock on that gun with a pistol grip. You can put a 12, 13. If you're talking about a youth gun, you can put a 12-inch stock on it. Short recoil pad. You have any combination you could put on it for a youth gun. Hey, Russ, thank you for that call. I think that's a great idea. I think we just designed a new rifle for Mossberg while we're on the air here. This is great. Yeah, we do. We do it in a 223 with a 12-inch stock, and we do market that as a youth gun. But I think the 300 Blackout, that's a nice idea. Or you can just customize it yourself with a stock system on our Flex rifle. There you go. Who knew? But I think it's a super idea. All right, Tom, are we going to see some other new things coming out of Mossberg at SHOT Show? Yeah, we're going to have a number of things. In terms of innovation, not high on the innovation side, but pretty high on the cool factor side. Our Duck Commander guns will be coming out. We're really going to officially introduce the MVP 308, and we've got a number of new things coming out at SHOT this year. And our 715T rifles that have been very popular, we'll be introducing a pistol version of that at SHOT Show. So. A lot of cool stuff coming. We're also coming on board with a bunch of the new cryptic camo patterns across several of our guns, Muddy Girl camo, on several of our youth and ladies guns. So, we've got a whole lineup of new stuff coming. A lot of new stuff. I look forward to seeing them, man. Well, we'll look forward to it too. All righty. You take care. Look, thanks for the help with the giveaway. People can win their own Mossberg MVP patrol rifle. That is sweet. Listen, you have a great rest of the Thanksgiving weekend, and we will see you in Vegas before you know it. All right, your turn. You can join us right here. All you got to do is give us a holler. 866-TALK-GUN, 866-825-5486. We'll get you in here. What gun would you like to see somebody make? I know you've got an idea. I said, well, why don't they make this? Well, let's come up with some ideas. Maybe we can get other gun makers to do that. If you're designing, what gun would you like to see them make? 866-TALK-GUN.
Want your next gun purchase to be fast and hassle-free? Well, at galleryofguns.com, you can search through thousands of models from our huge firearms inventory. Find a great offer from a local dealer that includes all fees and taxes. And there's no need to arrange a transfer. Gallery of Guns takes a small deposit on your credit card, and your gun will be at your chosen dealer in as little as 48 hours. Plus, your gun will be covered by our guaranteed lifetime replacement warranty. GalleryofGuns.com. Search, find, buy. It really is just that easy.
The Ruger LC380 is the perfect pairing of the award-winning LC9 pistol and the popular 380 auto cartridge. The LC380 is the same size as the LC9, yet offers reduced recoil, making it Ruger's lightest recoiling personal protection pistol yet. It features a dovetailed high-visibility 3-dot sight system, 7-round magazine and finger grip extension floor plate, manual safety, and loaded chamber indicator. The Ruger LC380, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
Save up to $50 at CrimsonTrace.com. Laser sighting systems from Crimson Trace will make you a more accurate and confident shooter. No personal protection firearm is fully equipped without a laser sighting system from Crimson Trace. Visit CrimsonTrace.com November 29th through December 25th and save up to $50 on the one tool no personal protection firearm should be without. A Crimson Trace laser sight. Save up to $50 now through Christmas Day at CrimsonTrace.com.
If you carry a gun, you need training. Your concealed carry class was definitely not training. But time, money, and obligations keep you from spending days at a shooting school. The trusted folks at Gun Talk can help. Concealed Carry 1, our DVD featuring the VADA Group, covers what gun, what holster, how to carry, where to wear your gun, and much more. Visit shopguntalk.com. That's shopguntalk.com. Look, this really is life and death. Learn how to stay aware, how to get away, and how to fight if you must. At shopguntalk.com, you can get the 2 DVD set, including Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. No matter what gun you carry, this vital training info can save your life. Learn the draw, the stance, reloading, vital gear from Gun Talk. That's shopguntalk.com. shopguntalk.com.
The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently. When it comes to personal protection, nothing beats a Bodyguard. Choose the lightweight, compact, and concealable Bodyguard 380 pistol or the Bodyguard 38 revolver, both with a built-in laser sight. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently.
Hi, I'm Michael Bain. You know I hate cleaning guns, so anything that makes that job faster and easier is definitely a plus. And that's where Bore Tips come in. These reusable, lint-free cleaning swabs make cleaning a breeze. And the tighter-fitting Bore Tips do a better job on barrels than cotton mops or patches. Hey, it's a dirty job. Let Bore Tips help. To find a dealer, visit boretips.com.
During December, it's the Mossberg On Patrol giveaway. Grand prize, a scoped Mossberg MVP Patrol 5.56 rifle with 10-round magazine. Other prizes include a Mossberg wall neon, ultimate backpack, soft-side shotgun cases, and baseball hats. Enter at guntalk.com/win. Now, back to Tom.
I tell you what, it's that time of year when we start thinking about, well, what gun would I like? Well, what gun would you put on your list? I have a couple that I'm thinking about. I've looked at them. I hate to say this, I might have to sell a gun or two in order to buy a gun or two, but that's okay. I can do that. I know what will happen. It always happens. I will be sorry that I sold the guns I sold. But that's okay. I've been there before. Been there, done that one. Let's go to line 3. Mark's with us out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Hello, Mark. You're on Gun Talk.
Hey, happy holidays, buddy. You know,
thank you.
I've done that too. Oh, gosh. I wish I had my 6-inch Python back.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, I had to buy a washer and dryer, me and my wife. It was all about priorities, Tom.
I understand. All right. So what's on your mind now?
Well, now it's a good hunters, good old guy from Louisiana that takes his guns out in the swamp. Mm-hmm. It's a good old double barrel, and I'll tell you what I want, Tom. I want one that can shoot all ammo, and I'd like it to have one, when you crack the barrel and unload it, you know how some of them, the shells just shoot out real fast?
Yep.
I don't want that. I want them just barely come up where you can get them with your hand.
Okay, what you're talking about is having extractors rather than ejectors.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're looking for a side-by-side twice-barrel shoot gun.
26, 28-inch barrel would be awesome.
What gauge?
Well, I love 28 gauge. I'm just weird that way, but I love 20 and 12.
Okay.
I'd like to have one for duck hunting and one for shooting those pheasants and all that kind of stuff.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you, the problem is side-by-side shotguns are more expensive to make. There's handwork involved with it, and there's just no way around it. There are, however, some, because usually for a lot of folks, an entry level is $3,000 or so. But there are some that are in that $1,000 or maybe a smidge under. You're not going to get much that's under that's not used. But what you ought to take a look at is the CZ line of side-by-side shotguns. They've got some really nice, I've just looked, they've actually got a 28 gauge. It's made on a 28 gauge frame. So it's a little bitty diminutive frame. And it would just be lovely. So I would take a real hard look at the CZ guns. They're making some really nice side-by-sides and probably as wide a variety at that price point as anybody I know of.
All right, Tom, I sure appreciate it, man. Happy holidays and shoot 'em straight.
All right, appreciate that. It's funny talking about using a side-by-side. I got a bug 6-7 years ago, and I went to my friend Brian Belinsky at Field Sport. If you go to his website, fieldsportltd.com, he's up in Traverse City, Michigan. He's got a great list of used guns there, by the way. If you're looking for a used gun, man, good place to go. There are like 2 or 3 places that I go. Dury's is one. Field Sport is one. When you're looking for a used gun, find the one you're looking for. But he had a Browning BSS side-by-side, 12-gauge, 3-inch chamber, 30-inch barrels. Yeah, I know. It's just stupid. So, of course, I bought it, right? What are you going to do? And my idea was to take it duck hunting. I haven't done that. I did take it to Argentina and shot doves with it. And it'd be a great sporting clays gun with those 30-inch tubes. Just love it. And I put Briley screw chokes in it. If you've never shot a side-by-side shotgun, it's just something different. You don't aim the barrels. You really do shoot it instinctively. The barrels have kind of a wide sighting plane. You just swing it, keep it moving, and it works for you. But if you have not, you might want to take a look at that. Yeah. And by the way, just a heads up. If you get a side-by that has ejectors, usually you can have it adjusted by a gunsmith to deactivate the ejectors and just have it extract the hulls so they rise up. When you open it, it just raises the hulls up so you can take them out with your fingers and they don't kick them out and you're having to walk around and pick them up. So don't discard a side-by just because it has ejectors. You can usually have it converted to extractors and it's not much of a big deal at all. So what's on your holiday, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever it is, list? What gun are you thinking about getting? Also, let's design new guns. What do you want to see them make?
Have you taken your family, friends, and kids shooting lately? You're listening to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, and we'll be right back. Want to be a guest on the show? Drop us a line at info@guntalk.com. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
All right, back with you here, 866-825-5486. You also can shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. We have a conversation going on over on Twitter, @GunTalk on Twitter. I'm actually asking over there for suggestions on what gun would you like to see brought out. Let's see. Glock rifle. Huh. Okay. New 30-ish caliber handgun. Glock rifles from Mark. BFD says new 30-ish caliber handgun. Think 32 ACP with modern methods, materials, lots in normal size magazines. Lots of ammo, I guess. Maybe 30 carbine brass trimmed down. Yeah. 8mm Mauser, says Dean, was one I'd like to see more of. A lot of suggestions. What would you? Yeah, lever action pistol. There you go. I like that one. Why the heck not? Okay. Taking your calls right here. 866-825-5486. Line 2, Dan's with us out of Lafayette, Louisiana. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Tom.
Hey, what's this about a judge? Did you get one of those?
Yeah, I've been looking at one, but my old man's a Marine MP, real stocky guy, and he's saying that I would like to get one for a conceal and carry because I hike a lot as well. Just the 410 rounds and a revolver would make a really good snake gun. He keeps saying that it would be a little too heavy, and I know they have a slimmed-down version. I think it's called the Public Defender.
Right.
But it's still just a little bit too bulky. I think it's at about 3 pounds or something like that loaded.
Yeah, I've shot the big ones. I've shot the Public Defender. I've shot all of them. Here's my question to you. Now, look, and I think the Judge is a fascinating gun. It's interesting, and it has a lot of uses. When it comes to self-defense or concealed carry specifically, I think it could be a good truck gun, car gun. Here's my question. I always come back to this. What ammo would you put in it? Hey, hold on a second, Dan. What ammo would you put in it for concealed carry? That's the question. And yeah, it handles a lot of different kinds of ammo, but what is the ammo you would stick in it for concealed carry? Have you thought about that? I think we're losing Dale. I'll tell you what. You can put him on hold. Maybe he can still hear me because his phone is going in and out. Let's just do this mental exercise. You have a revolver that can shoot both 410 shotgun shells and 45 Colt cartridges. With a shotgun shell, people say, well, you got a lot of shot, and boy, a shotgun shell with bird shot, would really do some damage. Okay, yeah. With buckshot, yeah. But here's my question to you. And everybody said, well, it's going to be up close. Really? And you know this because you're what, clairvoyant? You don't know what it's going to be. You don't know what the fight's going to be. You don't know if it's going to start out close and end up far, or start out far and end up close. I've looked at this a lot, okay? And I want something that will take care of any situation that I can imagine. And for me, it is an accurate firearm that will shoot out to roughly 50 yards. Yeah, and by the way, a shotgun shell, in case you don't know, it has pellets in it, lots of itty-bitty pellets. Or you could put a few buckshot loads in it. Now, there are some specialized loads that have like several discs in them. Again, take it out to 50 yards and shoot it and see what happens. Can you hit a human-sized target at 50 yards with it? I can with my carry gun every time. Pretty much every time if I do my part. And it's not a big gun. Can you do it at 25 yards? If you think 50 yards is unreasonable. 25 yards is very reasonable. What is your load going to do at 25 yards? In many cases, out of a Taurus Judge, nothing. If I were to carry a Taurus Judge, I would load it with 45 Colt cartridges with good bullets in it. Now I've got a really good defensive gun. Now, let me fast forward to the idea of a snake gun. A snake gun. Look, I have lived pretty much all my life, with the exception of 5 years in Alaska. I've lived where there are snakes everywhere. I have walked up on snakes maybe 2, maybe 3 times. By the time, if I walk up on a snake, by the time I can draw and shoot, I can jump. I can jump faster. I can be further away. I can get my distance. At that point, number one, maybe you don't need to shoot the snake. Maybe you decide you're going to anyway. Number two, if you've got some distance, you can shoot it with a bullet. You don't need a shot load. My point is, as much fun as they are to think about and to shoot and to play with, snake loads are unnecessary and pretty silly, really. I mean, honestly. If you're walking around and you need a self-defense gun, you need a self-defense gun against things that are going to cut your head off. If you're close to a snake, jump. If he's farther away, you don't need speed. You can shoot him with a bullet if you want to, or you can just walk around him. Just my take on it, but I'm just saying that's kind of how I've looked at the thing. Let's see here. Line 1, Steven's out of Cedar, somewhere in Utah. Hey, Steven, how you doing?
Good. Me and my dad bought a Henry U.S. survival rifle.
Uh-huh.
And we can chamber the round on it fine, but when we pull the trigger, nothing happens. And
that's
it's not
good.
Ammo. The trigger doesn't reset. Like, I'll shoot the first round fine, and then the trigger is just stuck. Do you have any suggestions on what I should do?
Yeah, call Henry.
Okay.
Trust me, you know what the last thing that Tony over at Henry wants? Anthony does not want you calling me on a national radio show and talking about your Henry rifle that's not working. He will make it right. Call Henry, Repeating Arms, tell them what's going on, and they'll take care of it for you, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it, Stephen. Appreciate the call. I'll tell you what, let's do this. We'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll take some more calls right here. Also, we're over on Twitter, at Gun Talk on Twitter. We got more suggestions coming in of ideas of guns that people would like to see made. Fascinating. You guys are interesting. An AR-15 bolt action in 5.7 by 25, fitted to accept FN-57 mags. Really? Okay, yeah, all right. We'll keep them coming. At Gun Talk, over here, it's on the radio, 866-825-5486, or just dial 1, Tom Talk Guns. Be right back.
Get a grip on your AR rifle, an Ergo grip. For maximum control, comfort, and accuracy, you need the grip that's ergonomically designed for the human hand. Ergo grips come on some of the best factory ARs. Now you can upgrade your own rifle with a great grip. At ErgoGrips.net, you'll also find accessories for your rifles and handguns. Shoot better, get comfortable. ErgoGrips.net. ERGO Grips.net.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition and homes around the world, one name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy. For unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts, choose Sig Sauer. Visit SigSauer.com today.
Hi, I'm Tom Gresham. For more than 40 years, I've been watching an environmental disaster in my backyard, and it actually impacts all sportsmen in America. I'm talking about the massive loss of land on the Louisiana coastline. The U.S. Geological Survey said the swamps and marshes of coastal Louisiana are among the nation's most fragile and valuable wetlands. That land is disappearing. The Mississippi River Delta hosts as many as 10 million ducks and geese every winter. These are birds which migrate northward through the states, all the way to Canada. The wetlands of the Delta support some of America's best fresh and saltwater fishing. And here's the deal. The wetlands of the Mississippi River Delta are disappearing at a rate of 1 football field every hour. 1 football field every hour. Gone. We can reconnect the river with its wetlands and restore the Delta, but we need your help. Please visit vanishingparadise.org. That's vanishingparadise.org.
TopGunSupply.com carries a large selection of fine firearms and accessories. Get all the parts you need for your Sig Sauer, HK, and Glock pistols. Grips, screws, recoil springs, sights, barrels, magazines, holsters. The list goes on. Our knowledgeable sales staff, professional service, great prices, and super fast shipping are here to help you. Check us out today. TopGunSupply.com. TopGunSupply.com.
In today's climate, you always need to be ready. Nothing will make you a more accurate or confident shooter than Crimson Trace laser sighting systems. Get the immediate, decisive advantage of the world's only grip-integrated laser sights. Shoot better. Stay safer. Call 800-442-2406 or visit crimsontrace.com for a free copy of our new laser training video, The Laser's Edge.
Have you ever held a Walther? Walther handguns are an extension of your hand. From the moment you hold the ergonomic grip of a Walther, you feel the difference. Today, Walther continues its long tradition of expertise in firearm design with the introduction of 3 incredible new handguns: the smooth PPQ-M2, the tough PPX, and the cool PPKS-22. Log on now at WaltherArms.com. Walther at your favorite retailer.
If Gun Talk is ever preempted by a sporting event on your local station, you can download the current show or any show on our website. Log on to guntalk.com and click listen. Now, more Gun Talk.
Well, in case you ever needed to be reminded why gun registration is gun confiscation, and they'll say, oh, you guys are so paranoid. No, registration always leads to confiscation. It never has not. It always does. And now, right now, this past week in New York State, people are getting letters from the state. Understand that your guns have to be registered there, right? So now that they have passed the SAFE Act in New York, which bans guns that hold, I believe it's more than 7. And of course, it's supposed to be just magazines. But no. People are getting letters that say, your gun must be turned in, and it's got your guns, your whole list of them that you own, the serial numbers, because you had to give all that information, of course. And guess what they are? Are these high-capacity, fast-shooting guns? No. They're Marlin 30-30s. They're Mossberg 22 rifles. They are lever-action 22s. And they say the reason is ammo capacity, because they'll hold more than 5 or more than 7. And you're being issued legal orders to turn in your guns. Confiscate your guns. So for those who say, oh, you guys just make this stuff up, why are you so paranoid? You know what? It's not paranoia if they're actually doing it at the moment. Firearms registration always leads to confiscation. And make no mistake, I had this conversation a few days ago with a listener who is an NRA Life member, he says, where he said, you know, we've just got to be reasonable about this. We've got to support this universal background check thing. We've got to have full background checks at gun shows and private sales. To which I said, well, so you're for gun registration? He said, well, I didn't say anything about registration. And my point is, this thing that Obama wants, that the gun ban lobby wants, that Chuck Schumer wants, that Michael Bloomberg wants, this thing they call universal or comprehensive background checks is gun registration. It's the only way it can work. If you don't register every gun, then they won't be able to track and say, gee, did it go through our system when it was transferred from one person to the other? So as soon as they pass it, they will turn around and say, oh, we didn't realize. This isn't going to work, this whole comprehensive background check thing, unless we have a record of every gun, who owns it, and what it is, and the serial number, and the caliber, and where you stored it. So we have to have registration to make this wonderful, warm, cuddly, comforting, comprehensive background check system work. And of course, once they get the registration, they can then decide, oh, gee whiz, you know what? We just decided some of those guns you have are way too ugly, are way too big, are way too small, shoot way too fast, hold too much ammo, or black, blue, purple, pink, something that we don't like. So we're going to send you a notice that says you must turn in your gun, just as they're doing right now in New York. Make no mistake about it. The universal background check is gun registration, which means it's gun confiscation. Don't get sucked into this thing. Don't get caught saying, well, gee, if we could just be reasonable. There is no reasonable with people who want to cut your head off. They want to destroy every gun in the United States. Have that tattooed across your forehead. And then they want to get rid of all the guns that are owned by the police. They say so. They're going to get rid of all the guns and all the police. Of course, the only people that will have them then are the crooks who don't obey the law, of course. Do not get fooled by this comprehensive universal background check nonsense. It's gun registration. It's what it is. That's at the core of it. Why else would Bloomberg and Schumer and Brady and Gabby Giffords and Obama want it? Not for a background check. We already have background checks. The FBI has to okay every single purchase at a licensed gun dealership. Doesn't reduce crime. If they catch somebody falsifying the information, they don't arrest them. They say they've stopped millions of people. Really? Well, if you stopped felons in the act of trying to buy a gun, that is in and of itself a federal felony. How many of them did you arrest? 20, maybe 30 of the millions? Kind of makes you wonder, really? Gun registration leads to confiscation. It is doing it right now. in New York, in the United States of America, to your friends, to your brothers, to your gun-owning brothers and sisters. Their guns are being confiscated even as we speak. Do not buy into this. Don't do it.
You don't have to agree with Tom to participate in the show. Call now with any of your concerns about guns, gun rights, or particular firearms, or suggestions for your shooting activity or personal protection. 1-866-825-5486. Gun Talk is coming right back.
All right, 866-TALK-GUNS will get you in here. Let's go to line 3. Jeff, do we still have Jeff from Navarre, Florida there? Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Tom. How are you today?
Good. You got yourself a Marlin 3030, huh?
Yeah, I just inherited it. And
okay.
I've got a lot, several long guns and lots of pistols and all that. And just to go back to that SAFE Act, I'm concealed carry. And I've been background checked for about 12 of my weapons. But there's about 14 to 15 more that have all been handed down by family. And I'm very happy for that now.
Yeah,
I don't live in New York, but I used to live on Long Island. I'm actually when I get off the phone, I'm going to call my friends and see what's going on, because I know a bunch of big hunters up there.
Yeah, and what you're going to find...
My Marlin 3030, okay. I have never had a 3030. It's a 1970s 3030, no modifications, just iron sights. I wanted to know, what are the capabilities and disadvantages, if any, to use it, and what is it good for?
Well, it's good for deer hunting primarily. Are you a deer hunter, or what would you be doing with it?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, here's the deal with the 3030. I'll give you the quick rundown on it. It's a great caliber. In traditional factory loads, probably good to about 150 yards. The iron sights are fine as long as your eyes are good enough for that. It's older eyes have a little bit more of a trouble with iron sights, at least mine do. They have to have flat or round nose bullets because the ammo, the cartridges stack one on top of another in the tubular magazine. You don't want to have a sharp, hard, pointed bullet resting on the primer of the round in front of it, except... A few years ago, Hornady brought out a really cool type of ammo called the Lever Evolution, and they use a pointed bullet, but it's kind of a soft plastic tip, so it won't cause the primer to ignite. And honestly, because it's so ballistically superior, going to a pointed bullet instead of a flat nose or a round nose, you can get an extra 100 yards out of your 30-30. It becomes an honest 250-yard rifle when you use that ammo. So that's what it's good for, but also they're just fun to shoot. I don't know if you've ever shot a 30-30, but it's just fun, man.
Well, I have a few times now, and I'm pretty good, accurate with the iron sights, and I was just like, I'm not really sure. I haven't shot the caliber.
Right.
And, I know I could have looked it up on the internet, but I wanted to talk to you.
And this is more fun anyway. Hey, we get to talk about guns. No, you've got a really nice rifle, and they were made really well back in the 70s, so do not let go of that rifle. You will enjoy it a lot. Take it out, shoot it, make sure it's cleaned up. And have some fun. Try some different ammo in it. And if you get a chance, you might try some of that Lever Evolution stuff. It's pretty amazing. Look, I appreciate the call, and congratulations on that. I'm sorry that you had to inherit it. But, hey, look, that's one of the things that's great about guns. We inherit guns. We pass them down. We hand them down. They become, in many ways, part of our family, part of our heritage, because they last so long. I mean, it's nothing for a gun to last 100 years. Nothing at all. I mean, we went hunting a few weeks ago, Ryan and I, my son, and he was using a double-barrel side-by-side shotgun that had been made 70 years ago. A 70-year-old gun. Works great. It's fine. You couldn't tell the difference. I mean, it works just like a brand-new gun. That's the amazing thing about these firearms. They just last and last and last. Question, are you thinking about giving a gun to somebody, maybe handing one down, or maybe even inheriting or willing it to somebody? Don't will it to them. Give it to them while you're still around. Give them a letter that describes the gun and how you got it and the family members who used it, so that becomes part of the legacy, but having the gun. Tell the stories. Tell about your hunts you made with it. So they have the heritage, not just the gun, but they have your story that goes with it. it just means something more. Now you're wrapping it up in more than just a gun. It's a part of your legacy, if you will. So what guns did you inherit? Are you planning on giving a gun or willing a gun to somebody? Love to get that information. 866-TALK-GUNS. I'm Tom Gresham. This is Gun Talk.
No black helicopters here, just the facts about gun rights and gun ownership. This is Gun Talk.